Hello and welcome to our review of Veronica Mars. I'm Paul,
I'm Dave.
and this week we're discussing the season 1 finale, Leave It to Beaver. This episode originally aired May 10th, 2005, and it was super happy and nobody is sad at the end, right? Right?
No, no.
Alrighty, well, let's start off by looking at what video games came out at the time. There are only two actually for this week. May 5th, if you had a PS2, Xbox, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, or a mobile phone, you could get Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, because it's a Star Wars game.
Yes. And also on May 9th, if you had a GameCube, you could pick up Donkey Konga 2 Hit Song Parade.
Yeah, because that was a thing at the time.
I did not know there were sequels to Donkey Konga.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, and if I supposedly remember correctly, I don't think it came specifically across the ocean and whatnot, but there were like additional packs and whatnot that had additional songs to it. But yeah, kind of the typical thing with music type games at the time.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of like the era of like Rock Band and like Guitar Hero and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, to a certain extent.
I guess Rock Band wasn't out yet because that's later, I think. I feel like that was when we were in like grade 12. But
Hmm.
anyway, moving on, let us go to the number one film in America this week. Dave, any ideas what it could be?
Mm, thinking with the one,
I would.
because there was a supposed thought that video games supposedly spoiled for me, but whether or not it's this week or the next week, I'm not too sure. But mm, yeah, I'll supposedly throw it out there. Supposedly, was it DreamWorks Madagascar?
No, it is not Madagascar. That was later, like early June.
Oh, okay.
This is a movie called Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
Okay. It's like a historical epic. It's about like one of the Crusades. It
Supposedly understandable, but still kind of a case of, man, really?
it had a very 2005 cast
Uh,
because it's like the lead is like Orlando Bloom. You've got Eva Green, Jeremy Irons, Edward Norton, Michael Sheen, Liam Neeson. Like it's the most 2005 cast I think I've ever seen.
hmm,
And it's directed by Ridley Scott, so it was probably quite a pretty looking movie.
hmm.
Anyway, moving on to the number one song in America, Dave. I'm not even going to bother to ask because it is still Hollaback Girl by Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty, well, I guess we should get into the episode
This episode.
now. Okay, so after reading a newspaper article revealing Kuntz's innocence, Duncan demands the truth from his parents, Jake and Celeste Kane, who tell him that they arrived home one night to find Duncan covered in blood and holding Lily's body. Beaver tells Veronica that on the weekend of Lily's murder he had gone surfing in Mexico with Logan and Dick, but that Logan had driven back to Neptune to see Lily. Veronica and Keith discover that a shot glass Logan bought for Lily in Mexico is on the list of evidence found in Lily's bedroom and car. Talking to Keith on the phone, Veronica suggests that Logan is the murderer. She is overheard by the leader of the biker gang that we know, Weevil,
Mm-mm.
who had a secret relationship with Lily. Keith ends his relationship with Wallace's mother, Alicia, to give Leanne a second chance. He sues the Canes for refusing to pay the $50,000 reward for finding Duncan. They agree to pay if Veronica signs away any future claim to their estate. Once Veronica signs, Keith shows her the DNA test that proves he is her father, meaning Veronica was never a potential heir to the Kane estate. Logan is arrested, and once released, he angrily breaks up with Veronica for providing evidence against him. He tells her that when he saw Lily after returning to Mexico, he knew their relationship was over, and he wrote her a letter which he left in Lily's car, along with the shot glass. Veronica realizes that the letter was never found and sneaks into a dinner party at the Kane household to search Lily's room for it. Duncan finds her in the room, and they discover several videotapes which show Lily having an affair with Logan's father, Aaron. Veronica concludes that when Aaron learned that Lily had taken the tapes and she refused to return them, he had killed her in a fit of rage, leading to Duncan's discovery of Lily's body and his parents' mistaken belief that he had killed her. In Lily's room, as a hidden person watches from a closet, Veronica calls Keith and tells him that she will be bringing home the tapes, noting that Aaron is at the party. Before she leaves, Veronica tells Duncan that they are not related. Elsewhere, Logan drunkenly stands on a bridge railing. Weevil and the other bankers arrive and menacingly close in on him. As she drives home, Veronica discovers Aaron is in the backseat of the car, which is an amazing horror movie shot. It's so good.
Yeah, still a marvelous case of how the episode played it. Just, it's there, but just with the amount of suspense and what they had with it, and just, oh, yeah, it works perfectly.
Yeah, and you just kind of see his eyes pop into the review mirror and stuff. It's like, oh, that's so good.
Mm.
And intentionally crashes into a power pole to escape him. Although both are knocked unconscious, Veronica awakens first and flees to the back porch of a nearby house, hiding the tapes in various places as she runs. Aaron traps Veronica in a fridge on the porch, demanding that she reveal where the tapes are. And when Keith arrives, Aaron sets the refrigerator on fire after a fight. Keith is burnt while freeing Veronica, and Aaron is hit by a truck while trying to escape. The police arrive, and Keith and Aaron are taken away on stretchers as Aaron is read his rights. Jake vows to see Aaron fry for his actions and is also arrested for obstruction of justice. Keith wakes up in the hospital to find Alicia by his side. Veronica arrives home and tells her mother to leave. She knows that Leanne is still drinking and did not finish her rehab. Leanne packs her bags, taking the $50,000 Kane settlement check as she leaves. Veronica dreams about floating on pool rafts with Lily in a pool covered with flowers, and they say their final goodbyes. Veronica wakes up and answers the door, telling the unseen visitor, "I was hoping it would be you." So, what do we think of the ending of season 1?
In certain sort of cases, I suppose just within the mindset of how the episode went along and how things were sort of building up from there, I figured I probably would have figured out who the killer was at a particular point, but also felt stupid as like, yeah, I never bothered to really consider him to that much, aside from all the points they used for him.
I think that's
Just,
I think that's what makes this work so well is they play fair with the mystery. Like, I feel like you could figure out who the killer is if you like paid attention and were like really thought through it. I don't feel like there's anything where they don't give you information that you need to solve the case.
mm, I think just the case with the whole action scene and whatnot from there was turned out to be fairly good from there, though. As it was, Veronica, out of all the tapes that you could have pointed into, you had to go with the one at the Roop and give him an advantage when your dad showed up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so we got a bunch of stuff this episode, obviously, it being a season finale. We find out who the murderer is. We find out that Duncan and Veronica aren't related, which that's a relief.
Yay! Incest is not a thing with the thingy.
It didn't happen this time. So, we do get a bit of a cliffhanger. Who do you think was at the door?
Oh god, there's a multitude of particular people that it could have supposedly been. The particular thought that came to my head was just her friend, since her mom went to the hospital to look after her dad and whatnot at the end of the show. And just the case of how often they worked together. It would have been nice. My also additional thought was it was Weevil and the biker gang and supposedly Logan with pulling him aside, not going through the supposed suicide he was thinking of doing. That possibly also would have been nice. But yeah, on whole, it kind of leaves it open for you could think it could be a multitude of people, but also the tiny little twinge of, gosh darn it, you don't bother showing us.
Yes. Yes. So, next time when we chat, we will be starting season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, the first episode of season 2, we're going to get a bit of a recap of what happens over Veronica's summer.
Okay.
So she's going to reveal some events that transpired over the summer after the resolution of the murder of Lily Kane. Meanwhile, Veronica investigates a scam involving students' forged drug tests, and a school bus mysteriously falls off a cliff.
Mm.
Oh, also, we're going to have some new cast members.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yes, two that I think one you'll definitely recognize because she's a Buffy alumnus, and the other you might because she's done some stuff more recently. She was in like some Marvel stuff and that.
Okay.
So it should be interesting. It should be interesting.
Interesting.
Yes. So until then, I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.